The story of Stafford Farm begins across the Atlantic in Staffordshire, England. In 1765, John Stafford emigrated, bringing with him a legacy that would root itself deeply in New Jersey soil. Historical records show John Stafford answering the call to arms from Haddonfield, enlisting in the Revolutionary War. His bravery and distinguished presence led to an extraordinary honor, serving as one of George Washington's personal bodyguards. Severely wounded at the Battle of Germantown, Lieutenant John Stafford retired from active service. In 1773, he settled on his wife's inherited land, the former Wilkins Farm, which would be known as Stafford Farm. Agriculture was the farm's heart, producing abundant potatoes, corn, and tomatoes, supplying markets and even Campbell's soup. Randall Brown Stafford Sr., born in 1902, and his wife Florence Warrington raised 6 sons, instilling in them a deep connection to the land. As the business of Campbell's soup became uncertain, and as mechanization advanced, the Staffords transitioned from work animals to a focus of competition. The refurbished half-mile track stands as a tangible reminder of the Stafford family's enduring connection to both agriculture and equestrian pursuits. For those who remember, the iconic property was defined by its horses, barns, and the sulkies training around the half-mile track. In 2003, the farm was preserved through a partnership between the state, county, and municipality. The Stafford family received $21 million, ensuring the land would remain dedicated to agricultural use. By 2005, the farm was sold, and for 17 years it was used for mums and hay production. But time took its toll. The home where the 6 Stafford boys were raised fell into disrepair, becoming a blight on the landscape. Unused farmland and overgrown vegetation diminished local biodiversity, and broken fences created a haven for deer. To obscure the view, the owner planted Leyland cypress trees, which were never harvested. In October 2020, an attempt to auction the property failed. The owners continued to seek a sale, even during the challenging times of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, South Jersey native Bill Green, living in Florida, rekindled his passion for horses, purchasing Marley. His wife Amy shared his enthusiasm, and they acquired Luna. Looking forward, knowing they spend summers at the Jersey Shore, they sought a local barn for their horses. They learned of the Stafford Farm Auction, a place they remembered fondly from growing up in South Jersey, recalling the sulkies training around the track. Bill had a vision: to combine his passions for horses, nature, and wine, creating a horse-themed winery and restoring the farm's history. He envisioned growing crops, producing wine, and offering farm-to-table cuisine, transforming the corner of White Horse and Evesham Roads into a community treasure. With over 150,000 people within a 15-mile radius and just 12 miles from Philadelphia, the 5th largest city in America, Bill recognized a unique opportunity to create a premier agritourism destination. Given the property's condition, with no running water, limited power, and outdated infrastructure, Bill faced a monumental task, requiring millions of dollars in investment, time, and dedication. His vision never wavered. He was committed not only to restoring the farm, but also to enhancing its beauty for generations to come. On March 5, 2021, the Greens became only the 4th owners of Stafford Farm, and the work began. Bill's acquisition of Saddlehill initiated a meticulous planning phase, focusing on the development of a unique complex that would necessitate a robust infrastructure, comprehensive utility systems, and specialized buildings to support his ambitious vision. Working tirelessly, one of the first steps was to remove the Leyland cypress trees, opening up the view for the community. The well was repaired for irrigation. Clay Jarvis from Springdale Farms, as a neighborly gesture, helped Bill and Amy's son, Adam, plow the fields. Thousands of feet of broken deer fence and horse pasture fence were removed, replaced with an 8-foot deer fence to protect the animals, vineyard, and crops. Working tirelessly for Marley and Luna's arrival. Just 75 days after acquiring the farm, Marley and Luna arrived, along with Marshmallow and other horses. Their temporary home was the Stafford Red Barn until the new barn was built. The Greens weren't stopping with horses. They acquired 4 alpacas. They refurbished and moved a cabin that was built by the Stafford's grandfather to a spot where the alpacas would greet guests. Knowing the time it takes for vineyards to mature, they started on their 3-year plan of planting 8 to 10 acres per year of vines, which took place in the spring of 2021, 2022, and 2023 for a total of 27 acres under vine. The vineyard includes Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. Once mature, it will yield over 100 tons of wine grapes per year. Vines weren't the only thing planted. Over 600 trees were planted in the new orchard of apples, peaches, pears, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and many rows of strawberries, which have become ingredients in farm-made products. A second well was built, and a local artist was commissioned to cover the well pump shed with a mural, replacing an old run-in shed. The new well gave the farm irrigation capabilities it never had. Wildflowers, wildlife, and a beekeeping operation further beautified the land. Over 250,000 tulips were planted in the fall of 2021, transforming the former Leyland Cypress Corner into a vibrant display in spring 2022, alongside an acre of sunflowers. Learning of the Greens project, Alvin, Ben, and Pete Stafford were intrigued and visited the farm. They grew up in the brick farmhouse, which is now fully restored as the Saddlehill Guest House. By January 2022, township, county, and state approvals were secured for a state-of-the-art winery, marking a new chapter in Stafford Farm's rich history. The building of a winery capable of producing ample amounts of wine was at the forefront of the activity at Saddlehill. With the winery completed just in time for the 2022 harvest from multiple leased vineyards, Saddlehill employed technology to produce over 12,000 cases of wine. The inaugural vintage was successful, and the wine rested in oak barrels, patiently waiting for bottling. With vintage number 1 in progress, attention turned to building a 12-stall barn for an equine breeding operation. The beautiful new barn houses the horses and includes a second-floor apartment for the live-in caretaker of the horses, as well as Saddlehill's administrative office. A key goal for the Greens was to share the property with children with limited access to farm life and young adults with special needs. They established the Saddlehill Foundation, which has already hosted hundreds of visitors. All Foundation-sponsored programs, including their weekly equine therapy with Pegasus of Philadelphia, are offered at no cost to participants. The final building, a 7,000-square-foot tasting room and farmhouse market, completed the property's construction and infrastructure. The building is the primary venue on the property for wine tastings and culinary pairings. April 10, 2024. Marked the grand opening of Saddlehill Cellars. With the community coming in droves, tours, classes, and workshops enhance the visitor experience, making it a unique and one-of-a-kind destination. From the echoes of Revolutionary War footsteps to the hum of modern winemaking, Saddlehill Cellars stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of the land. It's a place where history is honored, nature is celebrated, and community is cultivated. Bill and Amy Green's vision has breathed new life into this historic farm, transforming it into a premier New Jersey agritourism destination. As we look to the future, Saddlehill Cellars invites you to be a part of its ongoing story, a story of growth, renewal, and the timeless beauty of the South Jersey countryside.